right, go ahead, sir. My name is Pearl Cooley, and this is my audition for America's Got Talent. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never brought a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine. Gosh damn it! Hello.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. 1 2 1 2 1 2. We made it. Episode 20. We got a furry coming on the show today who wants to remain anonymous. I'll explain in a few. We're going to get to the bottom of this whole furry thing once and for all. But you know, I got to say, I can't believe we made it to episode 20. See, because you know what YouTube's doing now? They're starting to go through all my past shows and age restrict some of them now. Yeah, they did it to episodes 17 and 18 the other day. Yeah, they'll just do things like this out of the blue. Just like comb through videos of mine from years ago and just take them down. Because, you know, they've decided that you can't see them. They should be playing this show in school. Shouldn't the youth see what the collapse of society looks like? It's historic.
I love to get kinky with Mr. Teddy Bear. Teddy! I love Mr. Teddy Bear. I love Mr. Teddy. Teddy!
See, they should just show stuff like this in homeroom. Motivate kids to not end up like this. I mean, imagine you raise a son and this is the end result. See, if they just showed what everyone in school is uploading to TikTok and homeroom every morning, maybe they'd see how stupid they look among their peers. Who knows? Then you got shit like this.
Delete the pictures. Delete the number. Accept the lesson. And move on.
I gave up.
Delete the pictures. Delete the number.
Accept the lesson. And move on.
I gave up.
Here, let me do it now. Ready? How about you delete this video, apologize to your family, accept that they're embarrassed for you, and move on.
I gave up.
Why are we doing this stuff? Doesn't his friends see this and be like, dude, what was that? Oh, man. Here we got a grown woman pretending to be a horse in her backyard. She's got a horse mask on, but it looks like a dominatrix type thing. Imagine that's your neighbor. They should do a sitcom, like a spin-off of Home Improvement. Remember that one with Tim Allen and the neighbor who would pop up over the fence? Yeah, just replace Tim Allen with the horse lady. Oh, man, I don't know what it is. I've just been seeing the weirdest, most unexplainable things lately. I mean, like, look what people are doing. What even is this? Now, if you're listening on Spotify, it's a clip of a person or in a suit. I don't even know what it is. It's like an anime suit or a robot. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird anime character thing sitting in a windowsill with loaves of bread around it. You got to see this. The cameraman walks over and starts petting her head. And then the video ends. No context. The bread is never used. Nothing is explained. It's just an anomaly. See, this is the thing, is that there's all these new subcultures popping up that I just can't wrap my brain around. I mean, I still don't understand the whole furry thing until today, because today I'm getting to the bottom of that. I had put a video out recently trying to understand what goes into a furry parade. I had no idea they even have these, but yeah, they have parades every year. They line up in hotels and march through the hallways. Yeah, this is what our military is going to look like in a few years. Anyway, after I posted this video, I was contacted by someone who has been involved within the furry community for over a decade. an actual event organizer of one of these things, and they are willing to come onto the show today to answer once and for all what the hell is going on with these people. I was promised a completely honest, unfiltered interview with nothing off limits. The deal was, if we're going to explore the dark side, the person's identity has to remain anonymous. So this is going to be like sitting in an interrogation room. If we want the good stuff, this is how we got to do it. I can't even say the actual name of the furry because it's too known. So we'll just go with Toodles, okay? Get ready for Toodles. Toodles is going to call in a few minutes. Before we get into that, let me shout out my other sponsor, Manscaped. Now, I don't know if furries have any grooming rituals, and I don't know if this Manscaped would benefit them, but for us human beings, this is the way to go. I'd recommend the Platinum Package 4.0. This is their biggest ultimate hygiene bundle they got. You got the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, anti-chafing ball deodorant, ball spray toner. I mean, after this, there's no reason you should look or smell like a guy wearing a furry costume all afternoon. There's just no excuses. I mean, you get a travel bag, boxers, it goes on and on. They give you so much stuff with this package that there's no way that you're not going to look and smell like $1 million using all this stuff. So get yourself 20% off and free shipping with the code JoeyB at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And use code JoeyB. It's time you enjoyed the finer things in life. Get yourself a platinum package for your platinum package. All right, we got a special guest here who has requested to remain anonymous. I don't know if this is a he, a she, a they, a Martian. I don't know what we're getting into here. All I know is that this being has been heavily involved within the furry community for the past 12 years. They're calling in from an undisclosed location in Eastern Europe. Yeah, I feel like I'm about to talk to a government whistleblower. I don't even know if this is the road I should be going down. For all I know, I could wake up in the morning with a severed furry head in my bed. I guess this is the risk I gotta take. Anyway, let's just go for it. Furry, are you there? Can you hear me, Furry?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I appreciate you being brave and coming on this show to talk with me because I understand that we're going to cover some things that the people within the furry community may not want getting out there. And this is why you chose to remain anonymous, correct?
I choose to be anonymous mostly because we have a very huge witch hunt. And I might say something that some may not be okay with, but I believe I would say what is true or what I see is happening, and maybe also enlighten other people that are not part of furry fandom what's actually going on here besides the cringe videos and the content you see around.
Man, I feel like I'm talking to the Edward Snowden of furries. You know, if the furry community found out who you were, would you be in danger for your life? Are they violent? Do I need to set furry traps outside my studio?
No, not really. It's more like imagine the Twitter cancel culture. Well, you get it 10 times worse. So
really? Oh, so they are a bit volatile, huh?
Well, yes. Not physically or anything, but you can get cancelled to the point where you would be extremely uncomfortable to even attend furry conventions, which is a good thing and a bad thing in a way.
Well, what I think would be the right thing to do then is to address it this way: is I want to know both sides. I want to know the bright side and the dark side, and I also want to make it clear I'm not here to generalize. Every culture has bad apples, so I don't want this interview to be a reflection of me trying to paint a biased picture of the furries. I'm going to let you do that. I'm just going to ask questions. So I think what we should do is we should start light here first. Let's get your credentials here first. What type of experience do you have within the furry community?
How to even explain it? I think I have involved myself so much into the fandom that I kind of just live with. Because my friends are furries, my work is with furries, go on my vacations around furry conventions, right?
What made you want to become a furry?
Well, I was 14 years old, still trying to find out what I am. So, uh, what happened? I accidentally clicked a YouTube video where there were furries playing
YouTube.
musical chairs at the furry con. And for some reason, I clicked that video, watched it, and I was like, this is weird. This is like very weird, right?
Right.
And I clicked it away. Then I had these videos, which were in my recommendations. I kept watching more and more, and somehow it hooked me into it, right? So in a way, I felt I kind of found my world, which is a weird way to put it, I guess.
You found your world. What about that world did you relate to?
I would say that people being free to express themselves, the art, the friendship, acceptance.
Do you feel like there is a lot of people out there who become furries because they aren't comfortable with expressing themselves the way they are in their own skin? And I'm not saying that's you, but is there an element of that?
I would say, and I have seen how a very shy, very closed-in person has completely changed by putting this fursuit costume on. They completely go from very quiet guy or a girl or whatever to a completely different wild person expressing themselves, and you can see like them managing to put this furry costume as a barrier or a window to look through, and not being scared of being judged or mistreated.
Do you think that there is an element of shame and bullying that has gotten so severe that it's led people to want to escape and just create a completely different avatar of themselves?
I don't think it's any different from 30s, 40s, 50s. The difference is between those years and now, there were no internet. Basically, people on the internet found out, oh God, there's like some people that like to draw like humanoid animals like me, right? So they went into these forums, started to create groups, and found out, oh shit, there's literally people like me. Eventually, the branch grows so big that they start their own convention, and that's how furries just exploded over the year.
So where do you get the suit from?
Well, you either make it or you have huge communities that can help you make it. There's literally companies that make these suits, and these suits, if you order from a maker, right, they can range from $2,000 up to, I think the most expensive was bidded for plus $1,000.
Holy Christ. So if somebody stole your suit, that would be considered a felony.
Well,
that...
the thing is, if someone steals your suit, there's not much you can do about it than maybe wear it in your bedroom, because if you dare to wear it in a furry convention, you'll be hunted down and police will be at your room instantly.
Oh my goodness.
People know it goes widespread like a wildfire.
Now, I keep hearing all these stories about parents who are up in arms about kids wearing tails to school and using litter boxes. Is there any truth to that?
So let's talk about furries. It was addressed by a child a couple months ago that they are put in an environment where there are kids that identify as a furry, a cat or a dog, whatever. And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats. And I am really disturbed by that.
Is that just, what is that?
Honestly, considering it's 2022, I wouldn't be surprised that happening in some cases. But in my opinion, it's such a rare case. It's like literally few bad apples ruin it for everyone else, you know.
Right.
Majority kind of just shun these people away because
See, to me,
we
See, hold on a second, though. I would look up to that. See, I would look at that guy as the real deal. Like, if I was just starting out as a furry and you told me, hey, man, you know Fluffy? Now I'm making up a furry name. I'd be like, yeah. And you're like, Fluffy's got a litter box. I'd be like, oh, no shit. Oh, Fluffy's really about that life, huh? See, to me,
the thing is, in the fandom, we shunned it.
Think about it this way. There's got to be levels to this. There's got to be a hierarchy of furries where like the top furry perceives others who don't put as much effort into their furryhood as fair weather furries. Kind of like sports fans, you know, that don't really watch the sport. They just watch the main event. They're fair weather sports fans. Like hear me out for a second. Like on my last video, I did this thing about this furry parade.
Yes.
And everyone is in these elaborate outfits. And then you got some dumpy guy wearing a squirrel head comes walking through the parade with board shorts and sandals on. You can't tell me that guy's on the same level as someone with a full body furry suit who shits in a litter box. You can't say that's the same thing. Wouldn't you have more respect for the full bodied furry with a litter box in his house? I would.
I mean, there's a simple answer to that. Everyone has their own fetishes, and if they like to do it, I don't really care what they do in their bedrooms or in their houses.
See, I think I would be one of those people, though. I think I actually would be those, because I'm all in or I'm all out. I'm all or nothing. So I think I would be one of those freaks.
Well, I mean, I don't judge anyone's fetish. You know, the thing is, where you mentioned the litter box, okay, it's an extreme that you mentioned, but keep in mind that we are very accepting community, right? And when we are very accepting, we also can accept the freaks. But between us, between like furries, there's like a saying, oh God, I hope I don't get on these cringe compilations by being
right.
There's people that really care about their appearance to look good on camera and not be in this cringe compilation. And then there's people just don't give a shit and they're just having a good time at the event.
Let me ask you, are you married? Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I have a boyfriend and we've been together for a while.
Well, let me ask you this: is he a furry?
Yes.
Oh, he is. And how did you meet him? Did you meet him at one of these conventions?
No, it was accidentally through social media.
Now, did you know prior to talking to him if he was a furry or not?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Okay. So was your initial introduction of him as a furry or him as the person?
Well, for me, I look for a person, but him being a furry is like just a thing that you like a common theme that helps us communicate, like get the spark going to start communicating. Right?
Okay. So then is there a level of an attractiveness to the costume? Is that a common thing where that there is a look that might actually be attractive to you?
So there are people who pretty much date them, especially in a relationship, who see other person through their persona and they're attracted to their persona, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's not everyone.
All right, we got to get to the bottom of this now here. This is the $1 million question. This is what everybody wants to know. Are you guys banging each other in those outfits? I'm not saying you, but does it happen?
Well, of course. I mean, yes.
Okay, that's all we wanted to know.
The thing is, it's not only for the furries. Like, even, for example, you have the anime community, right? They would actually get in their costumes and do that thing, right? It's just how we humans are, like generally. The thing is, actually, I kept thinking about it before coming to the show. What I think about furry fandom is that it shows, because we're so open and accepting, right?
Right.
You see how people really are. And you also see the good side, but you also see the messed up, perverted side.
Right. So it's a reflection of humanity, basically. You're basically saying
I would
that
say yes.
you're basically saying what furries do is no different than what human beings do. Like, not saying that
Yes.
you're not human being, but you guys are you are living in an avatar in a way, but it's
Yes.
still people behind that avatar. And so
Yes,
what
of
you're
course.
saying, it's no difference. There is no like niche behavior that's exclusive to furries. You're saying it's just basically all walks of life: the good, the bad, the
Yes.
ugly.
And I would say that if you're hating on furries, you're just hating on humanity. Because what you see there is just how humans can be.
You know the website DeviantArt? It's like one of the
Yes, yes.
largest online art galleries. So years ago, I used to throw my comic strips on there. It was kind of like a little portfolio for drawing. Like anyone that was like an illustrator, comic artist or anything, like they throw their stuff up on there, right? And I would always see these drawings of these like foxes and these cats and all this stuff, which come to find out it's furry fan art.
Yes.
And that was the first introduction. Like I didn't know anybody was dressing up as these characters before until I started going down the rabbit hole and saying, what is this? But here's the thing though. I would just start seeing some of the most perverted drawings I've ever seen of some of these furries. I mean, like I'm sure that you've seen these. Like I think I was skewed in what this whole culture stood for, because I just thought, I'm like, it's a bunch of perverts. Like, do you think that element of the culture has kind of tainted the perception of furries? Because
Well, the thing is, I can't really stop it, and obviously, like, it's gonna be the first thing that a lot of people will see and find about it, right? But
yeah,
the people who can look like behind it and look around can see the good side, what furries do. So in 2019, there's a Midwest Fur Fest, right? Where in charity it was raised $764,000 for charity, right? Next, we have Antercon, where they have raised $397,000 for charity. And these charities go for various organizations, such as like animal shelters, or the victims of Hurricane Katrina is mentioned here, right? So, right, and these are all organized by people for free. They don't get paid. They take their vacation time to do it, right?
that's incredible, man. You know what? It sounds a lot like most cultures in the sense that it's all walks of life. You got the good, the bad, the ugly, the
Yes.
perverted. You got the all twisted. I mean, that's the thing. But isn't it interesting though how the negative elements of everybody's culture, sometimes people want to pin
Oh, well, of
those
course.
negative aspects onto them as a whole? I mean, you're basically generalizing
Because it's easy.
because it's easy to do that.
I don't blame them because, for example, after 8 years of being a furry, I finally got to my first furry card, right?
Yeah.
And actually, I kind of got freaked out by a fursuit. Because
Really?
it was odd for me to have this big fluffy animal jumping right next to me. It was
Yeah.
like the thing is, for me, even though I've been like in the fandom for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
I even managed to get kind of freaked out because it was like a shock to me. Like, what is this?
I wonder if there'll ever be a furry president.
Right?
But like you said, furries are a reflection of people. It's all walks of life, right?
Yes. Sometimes it's cringe. Sometimes it's a bit too far. But most of the case, what I have seen is very innocent, in my opinion.
I'm a furry rapper king. I'm a
One badass motherfucker.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you doing this. I feel like I learned a lot here. I hope the audience learned a lot. We got to do a part 2. I'm hoping that you could be my furry ambassador or my furry connoisseur, whatever the word for it is.
Yes, of course.
You know, for any kind of developments that go on in the furry community, I would like to have you on to represent them and set the record straight, because I don't know, this is the most that I've learned about this since I've discovered this stuff 10, 15 years ago.
Depending on response, I might even brought my suit on.
Oh my God, that would be the ultimate.
Well, definitely. Thank you for having me.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much for this. Bye-bye.
Just remember, you can't hate on the furries now, because the furries are a reflection of us. So if you want the furries to do better, then we got to do better. And on that note, I'm signing off. We're rocking and rolling on the Patreon. Get on that. Still trying to set up the damn P.O. box because I want to read your letters and all that stuff. Just hang tight with me. I'll get it all figured out. Talk to you soon.